before the ball is dropped for the new year, it's kicked off in Nashville. The first of our New Year's Feast of Bowl games matches NC State and resurgent Vanderbilt in the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl. 2 days, 9 bowls on the ESPN networks, 1 new year. The celebration begins in Nashville. From downtown Nashville, Tennessee, welcome to the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl, an ACC versus SEC matchup. The Vanderbilt Commodores in their hometown of Nashville against the NC State Wolfpack. Happy New Year's Eve with Rod Gilmore, Jamel Hill on the sideline. I'm Carter Blackburn. Well, the talk of the day in the NFL is certainly about coaching transition, and for NC State, this is one of those odd bowl games. You have Tom O'Brien fired as head coach. Dave Doeren will be the new head coach. Dana Bible is the interim head coach for this bowl game. It is audition day in a lot of ways for the Pack.
Yeah, it's a strange situation, but it really is. You think about the outgoing coaching staff, and these guys are auditioning for jobs. They've got a family to feed, so they're trying to prove that they can get another job. And you think about the players at NC State, they're lost. They're sort of like divorced kids, you know. They're trying to impress the new staff while still pleasing the old staff. And then you have Mike Glennon at quarterback. And this is a guy who's leaving NC State, has had a very productive career. He's auditioning for the NFL. And he's a guy that's considered a possibly high draft pick at quarterback. Some scouts love him, some aren't so crazy about him, but he's been really productive. You know, more than 30 touchdown passes in 2 years, and he has a chance to have a big game today to kind of help his draft prospects.
And for the Vanderbilt Commodores, it has been a historic couple of seasons, and that has been led in large part by a quarterback with a familiar last name, Jordan Rodgers.
Yeah, don't call him Aaron. He's Jordan Rodgers, and like his big brother, he's had a tremendous season, and I don't think it's a stretch to say that he's really the key reason they're in this bowl game. They were 2-4 at one point, and then he went on a tear, and they went on a 6-game winning streak. And I think he's fueled by the fact that he didn't play well in their bowl game last year, and he wants to redeem himself in this game, and he's had a great season so far.
On the day that Vanderbilt announced they would be playing in the postseason again, they also announced contract extension for Coach James Franklin. And for more on the Vanderbilt head coach, here's Jamel Hill.
Thank you, Carter. Coach James Franklin is a rising star in the coaching profession. With so many coaches changing jobs, I asked him point blank, why did you entertain other offers? And he said, and this is a direct quote, I would feel like a complete scumbag if I left Vanderbilt. Now, Coach Franklin said he's big on loyalty. Vanderbilt gave him an opportunity when no one else would. He said he knows recruits are coming to Vanderbilt because of him and his coaching staff. He said other guys can just jump out and leave. Maybe I'm just different.
And told us a sense of loyalty, especially to the athletic director, David Williams, and the chancellor, Nick Zeppos. When David Williams was the AD here and he was a young assistant at Kansas State, James Franklin told David Williams at a gathering of coaches, I am going to be your head coach one of these days.
Oh, he's done something at Vandy that really hasn't been done before in a long, long time. I mean, back-to-back bowl games. I mean, who knew?
This is the first time in Vanderbilt football history, going back to the 1870s, they have played in back-to-back bowls. That is Dave Doeren, who will be the next head coach at NC State. 2 years at Northern Illinois, took the Huskies to the FedEx Orange Bowl, then took the NC State job. And that is Debbie Allen, NC State athletic director, who made the hire of Dave Doeren.
Well, to give you a sense of how odd this situation has been for NC State, Doeren and his new staff have been on the same floor with Dana Bible and the old staff. Doeren's staff's been working recruiting. Bible's staff has been preparing for this game. That is an odd situation.
Debbie Yao, the former athletic director at Maryland, where James Franklin was once the head coach in waiting. We'll talk about that later. For now, it's kickoff of Vanderbilt and NC State. The New Year's Bowl celebration begins with NC State and Vanderbilt from Nashville. Andrew Howell on the return for the Commodores to near the 35. So we see the Vanderbilt offense first. They won the toss and elected to receive, so it's Jordan Rogers, and forget for a minute about the last name. Let's tell you about Jordan's career. All the way back in 2008, led Butte Community College to the junior college national title, was supposed to move on to Kansas, but when Mark Mangino was fired, scholarship went away. Vanderbilt was his only option, and he has made the most of it.
He was as overlooked coming out of high school as his brother Aaron was.
At the same junior college. Butte Junior College in hometown Chico. Jordan Rogers complete on first down to Jordan Mathews, the first team All-SEC receiver. Forward progress for maybe 3.
Now, what you'll like about Jordan Rogers is that he is a smart quarterback. He's got good feet. He's really worked hard on his footwork. Had some help from Aaron on that. Good decision maker. Gets the ball out quickly. He's not overly big, you know, so he's not considered a prototypical NFL prospect. But the way he works, wouldn't surprise me to see him in somebody's camp around draft time, after the draft.
Best completion percentage for Vanderbilt since Jake Cutler 8 years ago. Zach Stacy gets his first touch. Nothing doing. Third down already for Vanderbilt against the NC State D.
And this is a defense that has been, inconsistent, maligned. They've had their problems defending the run. They've had some tough games. They've given up a lot of points in a hurry, and occasionally they've played good, tough defense.
They have a tendency to give up the big play. The numbers are good on third down, 27%. That's the lowest in the FBS, but they've given up the big play.
Yeah, and you really look for the matchup with Mathews on the outside in third down situations.
He is lined up in the slot. Wildcat, Stacy has it, and he has a first down. Zach Stacy, the senior running back, converts on third down and 7.
Yeah, you know, the Wildcat is the one thing that NC State said they were really afraid of. They weren't sure they could handle it because of the many different ways they run it, the way they block it. They even actually throw out of it.
And Vanderbilt will use a variety of guys in that Wildcat. Stacy, Wesley Tate, Brian Kimbrough, a true freshman running back. Commodores convert. Jordan Rogers goes under center. Toss to Stacy. Maybe a yard.
You know, for all the talk about Jordan Rogers, you know, Stacy's the heart and soul of this offense. I mean, he's the guy that makes it go.
The senior from Centerville, Alabama. School record 3,000+ rushing yards. Rogers rolling, heaving. There's Jordan Mathews. First catch. Takes it inside the NC State 40.
A very nice decision. He had his guy Boyd running a deep corner route. Waited for Mathews to come free underneath. Patience. Good throw. Right on the money. Now that's the decision making and the accuracy we talked about a couple of plays ago.
Second catch for Mathews goes for 17. Rogers backs into the shotgun. Stacy takes it. Maybe 2. T.Y. McGill, the sophomore defensive tackle there for the stop. Well, Jordan Rogers, as you referenced, Rod, had a poor performance last year in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, looking for a bounce-back bowl performance today.
4 of 14 passing for 26 yards in the Liberty Bowl.
That's very poor.
That will motivate you. That will motivate you.
6 plays. It's been Mathews 4 times. Rather, Stacy 4 times, Mathews twice. So a touch finally for somebody else. That's Wesley Tate, who slips out of the first couple tackles. Flag down at the end of the second down screen to Wesley Tate.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 39. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So automatic first down. You saw our officiating crew from the Mid-American Conference today.
And there you see it pretty clearly right at the end there.
Chance to look at impact players for the Commodores.
Well, we talked about the heart and soul of this offense. It's Zach Stacy, the all-time leading rusher, 2 1,000-yard seasons. Mathews on the outside, first-team All-SEC as a wide receiver with 87 grabs. And Andre Howe may be the best player on that defense over there. He's really kind of an unsung hero, second-team All-Conference at that corner spot.
Rogers' fade is incomplete. Chris Boyd was out of bounds when he hauled it in. Second and goal. It's Dante Johnson there in coverage.
You know, tougher matchups for these receivers. They are used to having their way with smaller corners, but NC State's 2 corners are both 6'3".
That was closer than it looked in first. In fact, Chris Boyd's going back over to Vanderbilt coach James Franklin saying, I had it. I had it. One foot in. Does he have possession?
One-handed grab. Now, does he go to the ground with the ball? Does he have the ball when he comes to the ground? Because right now, that right foot looks like he's in. He's got that right hand. I think that's good. I think that's clean.
So here's what the rule book says. Well,
the ruling on is that it's a touchdown.
in possession, making a great touchdown grab for Chris Boyd, his 5th of the year, and an opening drive TD for Vanderbilt. Credit Chris Boyd for lobbying James Franklin and saying, Coach, I had it, I had it. Franklin says, all right.
That's trusting your players.
Replay official who overturned it, but Boyd was confident.
I just think that play all around was a good play. A good no call by the officials to allow the corner and receiver play in the corner of the end zone. A well-thrown ball by Rogers.
And an opening drive touchdown for the Vanderbilt Commodores. BAT is good. It is 7-0 Vanderbilt on NC State. Opening drive touchdown for the Doors. A troublesome first quarter for the NC State Wolfpack. Been in a trouble spot all year. They've been playing from behind. 7-5 record for NC State. 4-4. They were 3rd in the Atlantic behind Florida State and Clemson. Vanderbilt takes the opening possession for a touchdown. After the review, Boyd gets his 5th touchdown grab of the year. So Casey Spear will kick off. Tobias Palmer, a dangerous return man back for NC State. Had a 100-yard kickoff return versus Wake. 277 and a shootout loss to Clemson. Palmer bobbles inside the 5. And then hits the accelerator. Tripped up as he gets right around the 10-yard line. So we see Mike Glennon in the NC State Wolfpack. Glennon rated by Mel Kiper, the #3 senior for the NFL draft. What's the evaluation on Mike Glennon?
Well, big, tall, strong quarterback. Deep balls. Very, very good. Has a big arm. Throws the ball a little bit low. Not very mobile.
In the pro-style offense that NC State runs, Shadrack Thornton, true freshman, no game.
He can be fantastic at times, particularly with the passes that are about 20 yards, 18 to 20 yards and beyond. A little bit more inconsistent on the shorter intermediate throws.
He is a name you're going to hear a lot about between now and April 25th, the first day of the NFL draft. The 6'6" senior from NC State, Mike Glennon. Over the middle, completes his first pass. That's Quentin Payton, NC State's leading receiver.
You know, and so much of Mike Glennon's history is tied to that of Russell Wilson when Wilson left North Carolina State, or actually in a lot of views was pushed out by Tom O'Brien, and Wilson wound up at Wisconsin and had a great year there, and now is doing great things in the NFL. And so there's always the comparison to Wilson for Glennon.
Wilson graduated from NC State with a year of eligibility, so didn't have to sit before the year at Wisconsin. Of course, now in Seattle is a terrific rookie quarterback. Thornton picks up the first down. Kenny Ladler there on the stop. But that was how highly NC State thought of Mike Glennon. And that was the upside that a lot of people saw in Mike Glennon. The fact that Tom O'Brien is not here to coach him in the bowl game in his senior year is the downside. Play fake on 1st and 10. Glennon completes again. Mario Carter, chance to look at the impact players for the Wolfpack.
This offense is known for throwing the ball, but they need some production out of Thornton, and he's produced in the last 3 games, over 100 yards in each of the last 3 games. Palmer, big-time player on the outside, more than 215 yards against Clemson. And Wolf, you saw him on defense that opening drive, a couple tackles and broke up a pass.
2 tight ends on 2nd down. Glennon on the roll, completes again. Mario Carter, who then drops it. Incomplete. 3rd down coming up. Carl Butler there in coverage on the tight end.
Well, so far, Glennon has been good on the short and intermediate passes. The accuracy has been there. He's shown a little bit of mobility, and that was really sort of the knock. No one has questioned his ability to throw the deep ball. It's all the other stuff in the fundamentals with the footwork occasionally getting sloppy and being 6'6". Sometimes he doesn't pay as much attention to it, as he needs to.
3rd down and 3. 1 tight end to the right side. That's Carter. Quick drop. Glennon. Complete. 1st down.
Nicely done.
Underwood slips to the 41.
See how quickly he got back there on the 3 steps and then got the ball out. Nice, compact delivery.
Glennon off to a 3-for-4 start. How much of it for Mike Glennon is that word touch?
So much. But it all begins at the feet, at the base. And when you're that tall, you really have to pay attention to your footwork. You can't have the wide base and have the ball sail on you. You have to be compact.
Winkles, the fullback, goes in motion. This is Tony Creasy getting just a couple.
This Vanderbilt defense, we talked about how much they believe in pressure. They tend to use a 4-man front on 1st down and 2nd down, and they'll still press you out of that. But where it really gets dicey is on 3rd down. 3rd down, they go to their 3-man front, and they will bring 5, they'll bring 6, and they'll bring them from everywhere.
One more play in the 1st quarter. Glennon setting up the screen, goes for nothing. It'll be 3rd and long when we come back for the 2nd quarter. Opening drive touchdown for Vanderbilt, an early 7-0 lead. Downtown Nashville, 7-0 start for the hometown Commodores, and they have backed NC State into 3rd and 12.
Yeah, they show a 4-man front, but typically in this situation, they drop one of those guys off into pass coverage.
Glennon pressured, completes. Tobias Palmer makes the grab at the 49.
Now that throw is the throw that makes scouts gush. I mean, he stayed in there as long as he could, but boy, does he deliver a rocket when he has to.
The interception from Glennon. Vanderbilt unable to put it, converted into points. So Thornton, 1st down, he lost the football. Commodores think they have it. Vanderbilt football. Just the 14th takeaway, now the 15th takeaway by the Vanderbilt defense. They have been few and far between, but they've got 2 in the 1st half against NC State.
Yeah, this ball is just carried too loosely. You have to hold it high and tight. You can't have it, kind of leaking out there of your arm. You have to hold it high and tight. Too low, ball gets ripped out. That's a good strip. Is that Thomas who stripped it?
It was John L. Thomas.
What a story he has.
Orlando Sentinel had a great story today on Thomas's road to being a Vanderbilt, not only football player, but graduate. Commodore offense back out there with Wesley Tate, short gainer, but he is graduate. He's earned his degree at Vanderbilt. John L. Thomas had a very rough growing up in Orlando. A lot of credit to his coaches at Boone High School for his success, detailed in the Orlando Sentinel today.
He was essentially homeless.
Family evicted 6 different times during John L. Thomas's growing up years, and you hear a lot of negative stories about football, and coaching. There is a very positive one about football coaches making an impact on a young man's life. He's a Vanderbilt graduate succeeding on the football
and it's not like he had a derelict dad or anything. His dad was just out of work a lot and had a lot of kids to deal with. It was a tough situation for them. And, you know, it takes a village, and they had friends and coaches who stepped in to help out.
John L. Thomas forces the fumble. Vanderbilt offense facing 3rd and 4. Pressure comes again from Wolf. Jordan Rogers heaves long, incomplete. Justin Burris, the redshirt freshman, in coverage on Chris Boyd to make it 4th down.
Yeah, he's in a good position there. Underwood ran into him and almost could have been flagged for offensive pass interference. But good no call.
Similar situation last time. James Franklin decided to go for it on 4th down. This time the punting unit comes on. But Vanderbilt has told us, be ready for anything today. Like a standard punt from the 43-yard line. Into the end zone, touchback. Jamel Hill will visit with the new head coach of the NC State Wolfpack, Dave Doran, when we come back to Nashville. With the new year, a new head coach for NC State football, Dave Doran is with Jamel Hill.
Coach, nice to see you again. You've been in Raleigh now for a couple of weeks. You've had a chance to observe this team. How would you evaluate where they are?
Well, I kind of stood back. I wanted them to have closure to their season and give respect to their coaches. But I know they're excited. They're really anxious to be down here and finish this thing the right way.
Now, you will lose Mike Glennon. What does the future look like at the quarterback position?
Well, it's too early to say. There'll be a lot of competition. I know the returning guys are excited, and obviously we're going to go out and recruit and try to fill some spots that way too. But look forward to the competition and developing the guys that are coming back.
Now, it's a bit of an odd situation because you have the old coaching staff there. You're the new staff. How did you try to balance kind of that strange and awkward situation?
Well, I tried to be respectful, like I said. I mean, coaching is a fraternity. You know, I wanted those coaches to be able to lead the right way, the way that anyone would want to be treated. And at the same time, I had a job to do, so I tried to do that the best I could.
Now, your old team, Northern Illinois, they'll be playing in a BCS game. How will that feel for you to watch them on that stage?
I'm excited for those guys. It's going to be weird sitting in the stands, but I'm really excited to sit there with my wife and my kids and enjoy the game and cheer them on.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks. Go Pack.
5th straight completion for Glennon. It's Watson again who fumbles the 3rd takeaway of the first half by the Vanderbilt defense. Herring forces it. Ladler recovers. And a defense who had 13 takeaways all year long has 3 in the first half against the Pack.
Yeah, was he down? That's one question that I have here. Nope, he was not down. That ball was knocked out. A big hit by Herring, 35, dislodged it. And that was after the first pass by Glennon that was down the field and caught. The first one about 15 yards or so.
3 straight drives end in turnovers by NC State. Vanderbilt has not scored on the first 2 opportunities. Commodore offense from the 28. Wildcat Zach Stacy gets a good block on the outside from his fullback Lassing. Stacy takes it to the 19.
Well, the layoff has not been good for North Carolina State. A number of miscues. Begins right here with a drop pass. And as Palmer has it right there. And then there's a snap over Glennon's head. That took away a big 3rd down. And Glennon throws one up for grabs that Ladler gets. And then how about the fumble by Thornton? And now one more turnover as Watson gives this one up after the big hit by Herring.
And those are on consecutive drives. That's 4 drives.
Yeah.
A bad snap, INT, fumble, and Stacy takes it inside the 15.
It's also sudden change. It is a situation where your defense unexpectedly has to get out on the field and emotionally react to that situation. And to do it that many times in a row, that's draining. I mean, at some point you start feeling a little like, come on, guys, hang on to the football. I mean, give us a chance here.
The NC State fans are saying, yep, we have seen this in one way or another throughout the year. Stacy on first down takes it inside the 10 to the 7. NC State team who mentioned the win over Florida State. They were 5-2 on October 27. Won only 2 more games.
Run the Wildcat until they stop it. That was another Wildcat. They got more good yardage out of it. And when you go Wildcat, that gives you essentially 10 blockers and 1 ball carrier. And normally you only have 9 blockers. But now with the Wildcat, you got a chance to do really a hat on a hat and make a guy miss. They're in it again.
Wildcat for a touchdown. Stacy extends his Vanderbilt record. That's the 30th rushing touchdown of his career. The 3rd NC State interception turns into a touchdown for Vanderbilt. Third turnover turns into the touchdown.
Carter, they've been in the Wildcat 5 times. They have 28 yards rushing on that Wildcat formation and a touchdown.
You said run it until they can stop it. NC State has not. This is Ryan Fowler for the PAT. Jordan Rogers will hold. Like it was touched, but still good. Fowler makes it 14-0 Vanderbilt. Wolf got a hand on it.
Nothing more important than points off of turnovers. Watson gives it up here, and then Stacy finishes it off. Points off turnovers for Vandy.
We're in downtown Nashville, LP Field, home of the Titans. Vanderbilt playing in their home city, not their home field, just a few miles away from campus.
There are probably a lot of NFL coaches who are okay. It's just the guys getting the pink slips.
It's a good day to be an employed NFL head coach.
There you go.
Spears kickoff taken by Tobias Palmer. He bobbles it again. Second bobble by Palmer to the 15. Over 3,000 rushing yards now for Zach Stacy. 30 career rushing touchdowns. Glennon on the roll, completes.
You know, if you're Dana Bible and Troy Walters over there on the sideline, you're thinking, okay, we've had some things that have worked. We just need to hang on to the football. The short throws have worked. The only thing that's been a problem besides the turnovers is pressure, and so they haven't been able to throw the ball down the field.
3 straight drives for NC State, resulting in turnovers. Interception, fumble, fumble. After an opening drive, punt resulting from a bad snap. Finally some momentum here as Creasy gets the first down across the 40.
So the way they're calling their plays, Dana Bible is up in the booth, and he's been there all season long, even though he's the interim head coach. Troy Walters is on the sidelines making the calls, relaying things on to Glennon, and he's done that all season long. Dana Bible's hiding, not really hiding, but he's back up there. We just can't see him.
They fake on first down. Glennon steps up in the pocket and delivers. Great throw. Palmer.
You see?
That's where it is. That's where Mike Glennon flashes and you say NFL quarterback.
I mean, that guy can stand on the far hash and throw a bullet to the sideline. Watch the way this comes out of his hand. I mean, talk about spinning it. That's beautiful. I mean, that is classic. That's when you see that out of a 6'6" quarterback. You go, NFL guy.
28-yard gain is back to Creasy on the ground. We check again with Jamel.
Carter and Rod, after that last touchdown that NC State's defense gave up, there was a lot of frustration by the defensive unit. Cornerback David Amerson told the defense, they're not that good. We have to make them pass the ball.
Well, reaction?
Well, I think you have to have a little bit more respect. They're up 14-0.
Scoreboard. Glennon completes second completion on the drive to Talbert. So they've gone to Talbert after Watson fumbled on the last drive as the second tight end out there for NC State.
You know, that's sort of been the issue with Vandy forever. You know, folks have always said they're not that good. And back-to-back bowl wins, back-to-back bowl games, 2 straight winning seasons, and you still hear they're not that good.
Creasy to near the 15. This has been a historic run for Vanderbilt. If Vanderbilt wins this game, they're up 14-0. If they win this game, they go to 9 wins for the first time since 1915.
Yeah, and Franklin will tell you that people keep saying can't be done. Can't win 8, can't win 9, can't go to bowl games, can't win in the SEC. And he doesn't want to hear any of that.
They also beat Tennessee by 23. Glennon's pass dropped by Palmer in the end zone. Trey Wilson there in coverage.
Yeah, Wilson does a nice job of battling through at the end of that play. You know, technique can only get you in position to battle, to play. Technique gets him there. He continues to battle. Right hand in there, holding on. That's not pass interference, and knocking it away with the left hand. Although Palmer's got to catch that ball.
3rd and 5 for the Pack. Pressure. Glennon sees it, completes. Finds Creasy. It'll be 1st and goal, Wolfpack.
Good matchup, good decision. Running back against the linebackers. That is a mismatch that works for the offense. And Glennon, good decision coming off one receiver to go to his outlet, the running back.
Touchdown, NC State. Creasy takes it in.
You know, when your defense plays against a one-back set all season long, just dealing with a fullback who's coming out here and being prepared, that's tough. And they used it perfectly. Off tackle, get in behind Winkles, let Creasy get the touchdown, but Winkles leading that play.
Would you want to tangle with that man?
Is that kiss kind of look on his?
Yeah. Logan Winkles leads the way. Creasy gets in. Like the NC State fight song says, rise up to the fray, let your colors wave, shout out for dear old NC State. NC State finally on the scoreboard. Vanderbilt still has a 1-touchdown lead. Sadie kicks off. Ryan Kimbrough lets it bounce, takes it at the 1. Kimbrough has blockers. Across the 50. Dragged down finally at the NC State 44. Brian Kimbrough finally brought down by Salahuddin. A 55-yard return. Jordan Rogers back in for 1st down.
You know, Emerson said they're not that good. Need to make them pass it. Well, if they don't have to pass it, then they're pretty good running it.
Here's Stacy with a kick-out block. Stacy takes it to the 15. Pickup of 3 more for Zach Stacy, the senior from Centerville, Alabama.
And a good pressure that time to destroy the blocking for the Wildcat. But Stacy made the play happen. I mean, he made 2 or 3 guys miss.
8 times they've run the Wildcat, 45 yards.
It is the #1 play they will put on the chalkboard at halftime and try to figure out how to slow it down.
Rogers under center, tosses to Stacy on 2nd down. Picking his way to near the 10. It's 3rd down and a couple for the Commodores.
He is such a patient runner, but decisive when he makes up his mind. He lets the block develop in front of him, but when he decides to go and he makes the cut, he goes full speed through that hole.
Over 3,000 rushing yards in his Vanderbilt career, 30 rushing touchdowns, including the last Vanderbilt touchdown.
Healthy for the first time in about 3 months.
3rd and 3, Stacy from the Wildcat. Waiting for the blocks and leaning forward for a 1st down. First and goal, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they've got it all working now. I mean, now they go Wildcat, and they show you the heavy side formation with all the blocks, and they run the counter away from it. They get you loading up to the side where all the blockers are, and Stacy just picks his way back around to the other side. And right now, it's like you're facing a pitcher that has everything. He's got the fastball, he's got the breaking ball, and you have no idea what's coming next when they're in that Wildcat.
Zach Stacy has no-hitter stuff going on now for the Commodores. Again on first and goal. The fastball right down the middle. Touchdown, Commodores.
Wow.
That's Tate who takes it on the Wildcat. Touchdown, Vandy. Eighth rushing touchdown of the year for Wesley Tate. BAT is good, 21-7 Vanderbilt. I like the Vandy fight song says, dynamite, dynamite. Vandy starts to fight. You know, this is NC State's first game in the state of Tennessee since Lou Holtz took the Pack to the 1973 Liberty Bowl in Memphis and beat Kansas.
Wow. Good knowledge.
Dr. Lou, former Wolfpack head coach, former NFL head coach as well, of course. It will be NC State having to come back in the state of Tennessee. They're going to do it against Vanderbilt here. A 21-7 lead for the Commodores in their hometown of Nashville. Carter Blackburn, Rod Gilmore, Jamel Hill. Palmer from the 5. Palmer will take it all the way back. No flags down. Touchdown, NC State. Yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The second of the season for Tobias Palmer. It's a one-touchdown game again.
This is a great job, special teams. Look at the blocking here. Everybody's got a guy. All you got to do is read it. Great job at that first line. Everybody hitting their guy, moving him to the right side. Palmer reads it perfectly, and he's off to the races. I mean, that was stellar.
The fifth-year senior Tobias Palmer. We're at nearly 500 yards of all-purpose offense in one game against Clemson. Has 94 there for the Pack.
I think that atones for the couple of drops he's had on the kick returns today.
Nicholas Sadie for the BAT. In the first half for NC State, 3 turnovers. No answer to the Vanderbilt Wildcat, but Tobias Palmer has made sure the Wolfpack is right in this one. Well, the Wolfpack fans are feeling much better than they were about 2 minutes ago. Tobias Palmer takes a 94-yard second kickoff return for a touchdown this season. Well, the fifth-year senior for the Wolfpack, and we're back to a one-touchdown game.
How can you have 3 turnovers and still be in the game?
And give up all of those yards on the Wildcat, which we will document in a moment. Nicholas Sadie to kick off. Kimbrough had a solid 55-yard return last time that he got his hands on it. From the goal line. Kimbrough stopped at the 21. Tate, Wildcat. NC State holds him to about a yard that time, so trying to find the answer defensively, the Pack.
Yeah, how about the fans reacting to that stop? But look at the box. They've loaded the box now. They know Wildcat is coming. They see it. They're ready. They're prepared now. And everybody takes the right gap. They blitz from the edge. They shut it down.
So now the Commodores go 4 wide on 2nd and 9 with Jordan Rogers from the shotgun. And still running. Rogers tripped and dropped. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, well, that's just another way of getting to the Wildcat. That's Rogers, who's athletic enough to run it, but Brian Slay was there to make the tackle. So now Emerson gets his wish. 3rd down, long situation, forcing the throw.
NC State does not call a timeout. They have 3 left. If you stop them on 3rd down, potential time on the clock. No timeout taken from the acting head coach, Dana Bible. Wolfpack shows pressure. Rogers checks. Here they come. Vanderbilt picks it up. Dragging receiver Boyd is wrestled down at the 44. Brandon Pittman, who had the pass interference call, makes a nice open field tackle.
That is a good job by the defense. You actually designed that to make sure that you have the quarterback get rid of the ball early. I mean,
Mike Glennon and NC State are going to get it back with 3 timeouts, a minute left. Punt bobbled. Was it touched?
I don't think so.
Apparently not.
No,
Boy.
no. The official was right there.
Rashard Smith very close to touching that football, which would have made it live, which would have set up Vanderbilt. Boy, that's as close as you get.
Shades of the San Francisco 49ers playoff game last year. Woo.
Well, Smith apparently pulled the hand away.
Yeah, that's not conclusive to be able to determine that he touched it.
Counselor, I grant you your motion. As the rain begins to fall here. Glennon throwing on 1st down. It's another pick. 4th takeaway by the defense. This is Samuels inside the 20. 2nd interception thrown in the 1st half by Mike Glennon.
Yeah, he forced this one. He had man under coverage. So you've got a man covering the receiver, and he's in between the quarterback and the receiver, and he has help down the field. And he tries to squeeze it in there. There is not a big window. You've got a guy underneath and a guy over the top. That's a bad decision.
And someone is going to have to make a decision. Do you spend a 1st-round pick on Mike Glennon? We've seen him make terrific throws. We've seen him turn it over twice. This year, he now has 16 INTs.
Well, it only takes one team to fall in love with you, but we've heard scouts all over the board about him.
And it's a long way until April 25th. Stacy out of the Wildcat, throwing to the end zone, just overshooting Jordan Rogers.
He had him. And you see Franklin say, give it some air. Put it out there. Let him go get it.
Franklin, who is unapologetically emotional.
Oh, Rogers is just running a corner route. Look at him. He's wide open.
He double moved him.
Oh, he did.
He double moved David Amerson, the terrific corner.
But we talked about his athleticism. I mean, you don't see Aaron Rodgers running too many of those corner routes, do you?
Well, maybe the Packers will put it in for that playoff game next week.
I mean, Jordan doesn't have an MVP Super Bowl trophy, but Aaron doesn't have that move.
5 wide, screen on 2nd and 10. That's Jordan Mathews slipping away into the end zone. Touchdown, Vanderbilt. Instead of a Jordan Rogers touchdown grab, it's a Jordan Mathews touchdown grab.
Well, what do you want to talk about? Points off turnovers or poor tackling in this secondary that we talked about at the very beginning of the game?
Second time that Vanderbilt has taken an NC State turnover and turned it into a touchdown. 4 for 4 in the red zone. Touchdowns for Vanderbilt. 14 points off the takeaways. Commodores 28, NC State 14. 4 first half turnovers by NC State. 2 of those result in Vanderbilt touchdowns. Commodores trying to win their 9th game for the first time since 1915. Their head coach, James Franklin, is with Jamel Hill.
Coach, you said you're an emotional guy. We saw you give Eric Samuels, was that like a mock kiss? What was that?
Yeah, it wasn't a real kiss, actually. I was really excited.
Now, your defense has come up with 4 turnovers. Why have they been so successful in that area today?
You know, they're moving the ball on us very well, but the turnovers have been a really good eraser for us. The guy's really accurate, you know, and because of that, when we get tight coverage, we have a chance to intercept it.
Now, what do you have to do in the second half to close this out?
Yeah, we just got to play the second half like the first half didn't even exist. Stick to our plan, we'll be fine.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
A 28-14 lead for James Franklin on NC State. Commodores lead it. Now we send you on to the halftime report. John, Mark, and Lou. Welcome once again to the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl from Nashville, Tennessee. ACC versus SEC, and it's Vanderbilt, the hometown Commodores, a 2-touchdown lead. Happy New Year's Eve once again from downtown Nashville with Rod Gilmore, Jamel Hill. I'm Carter Blackburn. NC State down by 2 touchdowns. So what is the diagnosis for Dana Bible and his staff at the half?
Well, they have 2 problems. I mean, on offense, that they've got to solve the pressure. The pressure has been relentless. It's been a problem for Glennon. And then on defense, it's the Wildcat. I mean, they've not stopped that formation and that run. It's been the key to the Vanderbilt offense. If they can address those 2 things, they can get back in the ball game. But until they do, it's a tough way to end the year for them.
Well, the Commodores on the brink of a historic win. It's been a historic season, a historic couple of seasons. This is the first time they have ever played in back-to-back bowl games. And if Vanderbilt wins, they go to 9 victories for the first time since 1915.
You know, for years we used to say, that's why you're Vandy, because they would always find a way to lose games. They would never make a play. I don't think you can say that anymore.
Well, 4 takeaways in the first half. They go 4 for 4 in the red zone. Those were the 2 concern areas even throughout an 8-win season for Vanderbilt. They got it done in the first half. Squib kick away from Tobias Palmer, who will pick it up at the 6, hoping it goes out of bounds. Palmer slips away to the 16. Jamel.
Happy New Year, Carter and Rod. Forgot to tell you that earlier. I talked to NC State wide receivers coach Troy Walters, who's been relaying the offensive signals for NC State about how they can adjust in terms of stopping the Wildcat. And he said guys have to stay in their gaps. They have to stay disciplined. He also told me that he told the team at halftime they have to protect the ball better because they're just beating themselves.
Well, you know, Jamel, you're right, and Troy Walters is delivering, you know, those messages. Dana Bible has been upstairs.
Glennon incomplete on the first pass of the second half.
Yeah, well, Glennon has had some issues under pressure and trying to throw the ball deep.
Short. Our first half stats are brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
Well, you see the rushing yards for NC State. Dr. Lou talked about it at halftime, only 17 yards rushing, and they've relied on the passing attack. But you see the big issue is over in that left-hand side. I mean, right there. 4 turnovers. Hard to win with that.
14 points off those turnovers. Glennon fires on 3rd and 3. Palmer. First down, NC State. Trey Wilson finally makes the stop.
Working the inside of the field. If you want to attack this Vandy defense, when they're in their nickel package, working the slot, working against the safeties, that's the way to go. I mean, when they go nickel, they bring in a 3rd safety, not a corner. And safeties aren't as good in pass coverage as corners.
Play fake. State picks up the pressure. So a completion there for Rashard Smith, who takes it inside the 35. And immediately NC State better at picking up the pressure in the second half.
Picking that up and also looking to the inside, getting away from dealing with those corners and working against the safeties.
Thornton puts a good block. Smith picks up the first down. Thornton, the true freshman running back. Now he has room to run, takes it to the 27.
A little bit of that 2-back rushing attack would also help take some of the pressure off. If you can run your offense, pound it with the fullback a little bit, you can take some of that blitzing away.
Thornton gets a couple more. Shadrach Thornton. Stopped by Caleb Azubike, true freshman defensive end from here in Nashville.
You know, as we talked this week about this defense and the tape that we've seen, we were sold that inside, working on on Samuels when he's in that nickel spot or working on Butler is the way to throw the ball, and not against those two corners on the outside.
Glennon looking over the middle. Now he's going to heave it to the end zone, and it's another interception. Picked off by the corner, Trey Wilson, who brings it across the 40. Wilson into Wolfpack territory. His own man makes the stop after the INT and return for Wilson inside the NC State 40. He runs into Jared Morris after a 65-yard return.
And I don't get it. I mean, you have the right plan. You're making good decision inside. It's where it works. Why go challenge Wilson? You're not even open. He's baiting you. He's daring you to throw the ball. Wilson is baiting you, daring you to throw it. And you take the bait.
If it's audition day for Mike Glennon, the audition's not going well.
No.
Third interception thrown against a Vanderbilt defense that had only 8 INTs the entire year. That's Rogers to Mathews on first down. Vanderbilt now with 5 takeaways. That is a season high. Ties a Vanderbilt bowl record, which is not a massive accomplishment considering this is their 6th bowl game of all time. But it's 5 takeaways for a team that had only 13 in 12 games in the regular season.
Building a new tradition. Performance in bowl games.
Appearing in bowl games, step 1. Play fake on second down. Rogers heaves to the end zone. Hit as he throws. Knocked away. Boy, that's Jordan Mathews quickly turning into a DB and knocking it away from Dante Johnson.
Yeah, might have got away with it a little bit there. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I knew him first time. Jordan Rogers, a little bit late delivering that. He had the second hitch when he wanted to throw it with the first hitch. Kept the ball, and that little bit of time that he did hang on to it kept him from getting it out there to Mathews on time.
Stacy's lined up as a receiver on the bottom of the screen, matched up with Amerson.
Mismatch on the inside.
Heavy pressure. Rogers releases. Complete. Well short of a first down. Stephen Shoy, the tight end, makes just his 7th catch of the year. 4th down coming. Kicking unit comes on for Vanderbilt. First time we have seen the kicking unit for Vanderbilt because the Commodores have been perfect in the red zone. This is Casey Spear, the junior who's made 10 straight, including 50 and 52 versus Wade. This is a 30-yard attempt. Easily good. So the interception by Glennon, the 3rd that he's thrown in this game, turns into 3 points this time for the Commodores. Vanderbilt building a second-half lead. Kerry Spears' 30-yard field goal makes it a 31-14 lead for Vanderbilt over NC State. Carter Blackburn, Rod Gilmore, Jamel Hill. 5 turnovers by NC State today, including 3 from their senior quarterback, NFL prospect Mike Glennon. The last INT turns into 3 points for the Commodores. Kerry Spear to kick off. Another squib kick. Adjustment in the second half. Trying to keep Palmer from the big return. He had the 94-yard touchdown in the first half. He's down at the 25. 239 passing yards despite the 3 INTs for Glennon. Thornton, it's maybe 7. Here in Nashville, Glennon rolling on second down off the play fake. Incomplete. Pressure again from Kyle Western on Glennon.
Well, you know, whether it's 5 guys coming or 6, they're coming every play. And North Carolina State hasn't been able to protect Glennon, and Glennon is not the kind of quarterback that you want to have running around trying to extend the play.
Three interceptions, 3 of the 5 turnovers by NC State today. On 3rd and short, Glennon throwing off the back foot again. This one is caught. And a nice catch by Quentin Payton, 22 yards.
Yeah, that's Payton, and all 6'4" of him. He better be careful there. A little bit of chatter going on there, and he's walking right into it. But he's a little bit upset because he's got Wilson all over him, and he felt like he had to let him know about it.
Just the second catch for Quentin Payton, NC State's leading receiver. Back to the ground, Tony Creasy. Breaking tackles, Creasy leans near the first down before Wilson finally makes the stop.
Second leading rusher on the team, Creasy. Had over 400 yards rushing this season, and pretty much gave way to Thornton as the featured back midway through the season.
Also had a handful of injuries, including James Washington going down, a couple suspensions at the running back position. Glennon's going to scramble. Still behind the line, so he heaves it complete. First and goal, NC State. Boy, Glennon was tiptoeing right around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and he extended the play, and that's really not his thing. But the presence of mind to stay behind the line of scrimmage. You see the black line there? That's our line of scrimmage. And he just stays behind it.
Whole body has to be across the line of scrimmage for it to be a violation. Play fake on first and goal. Incomplete. Looking for the Dragon tight end, Dragon fullback rather, Logan Winkles.
Yeah, this is not it's not the recipe for Glennon. You don't want to keep moving him out. He's not a great passer on the run. He's at his best in the pocket.
Second red zone trip for NC State. They scored on their first. The other touchdown came on a kickoff return. Glennon hit from behind. He fumbles the football. The 6th turnover by the NC State offense. But NC State gets back on top of this one, so wipe out the turnover. Wolfpack gets back on top.
Now, they actually use a zone blitz here. They're going to drop one of their linemen off, and initially Glennon was looking to throw inside, and you see the lineman just drop back into that area right in the middle, and that took away the throw. Glennon won it right off the bat.
Westman gets the sack again. Fumble recovered by NC State to avoid the turnover. Third and goal Pack, with the seconds ticking away in the third. Check down Creasy. It's 4th down and goal for NC State as we head to the 4th quarter. Decision time for interim head coach Dana Bible. 4th and goal. Will the Wolfpack go for it to begin the 4th quarter? NC State, the only time they've come back in the 4th quarter to win a game this season was against 3rd-ranked Florida State. First play of the 4th quarter will be a 4th down field goal attempt from the Pack.
I think I'd go for it here.
Get a touchdown, you make it a 10-point game. Instead, it's
but,
a field goal and a 2-touchdown
You're
game.
not playing for the national championship.
No. Field goal is good, so that makes it 31-17, 2 touchdowns. But again, you got an interim head coach, and NC State, you know, it's, usually you see a little roll of dice.
Yeah.
At the back of the end zone for a touchback. But look, if you talk about building back-to-back bowl appearances, this would be 9-win season for the first time since 1915. But I think that big part of that is that recruiting piece. Number 16, they're getting guys that used to be going to Tennessee, to Georgia. Stacy, what do you think, and what is the next step in the building for Vanderbilt?
I think next year is the critical year. I mean, I think next year, this team, if they're going to make that next step, they have to not only beat the teams that they should beat, like they did this year, but they'll need to get a knockoff. I mean, they played Florida tough this year, But you got to get a Florida, you got to get a Georgia, you got to get an Alabama at some point to make that move to the next level. Otherwise, you will consistently be 6 to 8 wins, and that'll be the high water mark.
Rodgers completes, minimal gain, 3rd down. And whenever you have a Vanderbilt and you're in the volunteer state, it's about turning the state from orange and even really turning Nashville from being a Balls town that takes Vanderbilt 2nd place, turning it into a Commodore town.
Well, they've got a window of opportunity right now with Tennessee being down. And Tennessee's going to come back at some point. But they're down right now. And they have another opportunity here on 3rd down to pick up this 1st down and keep the ball. Wildcat.
Stacy follows the blockers, but he is dropped about a half a yard short by Brandon Bishop, the senior free safety.
Well, this time North Carolina State blitzed the opposite side of the loaded blocker side. They played for the counter, and the blitz worked.
4th and 1, Vanderbilt's going to go for it.
Really?
From their own 34. Well,
I think you got to kick this one. I mean, maybe this is almost giving North Carolina State an opportunity. If you don't get this, you're giving them a short field.
Stacy, 1st and 10, Vanderbilt.
Wow. Why would you take that chance?
Well, Franklin has been awfully aggressive. I mean, we've seen trick plays, we've seen wild formations. That's not just in the bowl game, leading up to the bowl game. Throughout the season, very aggressive.
You open yourself up to criticism. If you miss this one, and you give them a short field and they get a touchdown and you have a 1-possession game, people are asking, what are you doing?
Tate Wildcat again, wrestled down. Well, McGill, I don't know how you slip away from T.Y. McGill, who blew that play up after getting the penalty.
Yeah, McGill's a little motivated right now. I mean, he didn't think that unsportsmanlike was deserved, and now he comes right back in and gets another big play to push them out of field goal range. And 8+ minutes, it's still a 2-possession game.
Teal's going to come out. His helmet came off. And NC State has forced Vanderbilt into 2nd down and long. Wolfpack get a stop. They're still in the game. Jordan Rodgers back in at quarterback. Busted play on the screen. NC State was ready for it. T.Y. McGill on the pressure again. Well, he responded after drawing the flag.
Yeah, he has. His teammates are helping him out. They are playing really aggressive. They're basically rolling the dice. It is blitz every down, everybody in the face of the receivers, daring Vanderbilt to throw the ball down the field. And it's the right strategy. I mean, you have to force something to happen to get the ball back, and you can't allow them to just bleed away the clock.
3rd and 18. Pressure up the middle. Dump it off to Tate. Knocked out of bounds right around the 35. So 7:32. NC State has forced Vanderbilt into 4th down. And the offense is staying on the field on 4th down and 14.
Yeah, well, you're talking about a 52, 53-yard field goal. Why risk having that blocked? And a punt, if you kick it in the end zone, you've gained 12 yards.
So this is the no man's land. You just say 4th down, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And if you convert, a chance to run more clock. Heavy pressure on 4th down. Rodgers hit as he throws, but it's complete. 1st down, Vanderbilt. Jordan Mathews hauls it in, but Jordan Rodgers paid the price. He was drilled by Earl Wolf.
Well, he anticipated perfectly. And he threw that ball well before Mathews came out of his break. He stood in there, and that ought to be flagged. I mean, that's a helmet-to-helmet win. And that was Wolf coming in. but he anticipated and got that ball out there. But I would have flagged Wolf for coming in so high.
Should have been. That was clearly helmet to helmet up top. So Rodgers takes the hit, but delivers for a first down. So Wesley Tate gets 3. Let's look at the hit on Rodgers again from Wolf.
Yeah, now this is toughness staying in there, but look, he launched himself and got him above the numbers. I mean, whether you get helmet to helmet is, almost irrelevant. He launched and got him above the numbers.
Defenseless player rule says no player shall target and initiate contact at the head or neck area. That's the definition. That could go on a clip of.
Yeah, and he led with the crown too. I mean, he was really trying to get upstairs.
That's targeting. Tate inside the 15. Third down for Vanderbilt as they try to run the football and run the clock. Well, NC State had him backed up into third and down, brought that heavy blitz. Rodgers to Mathews, first down, and now the Commodores a chance to not only potentially score again to put it away, but to run some clock.
Yeah, that throw by Rodgers, that was a dagger. That was a big-time throw.
Zach Stacy there on the sideline. You see him hobbled. He came off the last series for Vanderbilt. Rodgers, keeper on the read. Touchdown, Jordan Rodgers and the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Was that a little double check there?
Rodgers!
Something.
Rodgers!
Yeah, he's showing a little blood from that hit, looks like.
Wow. So he takes the pop from Wolf, completes for the first down, and then takes it himself for the touchdown. A 3-touchdown lead. Vanderbilt on the verge of their first 9-win season since 1915. And Mr. Rodgers says it's Jordan Rodgers. It's Vanderbilt football. And the double check.
Or Superman.
This is Jordan Rodgers on the Vanderbilt bench, making sure that the teeth are still in place after he took that huge hit from Earl Wolf on a play that we all agree should have been flagged.
Yeah, he was delivering that big-time throw, that dagger that gave them the first down, and Wolf launched himself and got Rodgers on the chin, but apparently he still has all his teeth.
And then Rodgers takes it himself into the end zone. Harry Spear again, the squib kick, trying to reduce the opportunities for the return from Tobias Palmer. Takes it back to the 30. And now it's Mike Glennon and NC State with their season slipping away.
I do have my eye on that Georgia-Nebraska game.
Glennon finds Thornton on the check down.
Nebraska got waxed in that Big Ten championship game by Wisconsin, and you got to believe that they want to bounce back in this ball game. But Georgia, tough loss to Alabama.
Down to the last
SEC championship.
Seconds away from playing for a championship, Georgia. And of course, the big question on the Bulldogs is how do they bounce back from that? The disappointment of not being a national championship game, and Nebraska not being in the Rose Bowl. Even in Nebraska, that Big Ten championship, one of the more shocking results of the 2012 year.
Absolutely. I mean, particularly because you didn't see Wisconsin, score like that until that ball game. And Nebraska just had nothing. That game was over early.
Wisconsin be playing their third straight Rose Bowl. Barry Alvarez on the sideline. Another of the more shocking results from college football this year. Third-ranked Florida State losing to NC State, which cost the Seminoles a chance at that national championship.
Well, and after that game, NC State won their next game, and they were 5-2, and it looked like they were on their way to a pretty good season. And then the 2 terrible weeks in a row. They lost to North Carolina, they lost to Virginia, and at that point, the season was in jeopardy. And Tom O'Brien's job was in jeopardy.
Glennon throwing to the 35. Palmer dropped on an aggressive play by Stephen Clark. A chance of SEC coming from the Vanderbilt fans, showing the SEC pride on New Year's Day.
Well, the SEC pride is throughout SEC country. I mean, and it permeates from players to fans to coaches. They may battle each other fiercely during the season, but they root for each other in the postseason.
Glennon firing complete. Palmer, first down and 10. Tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Capital One, is the entire unit of the Vanderbilt defense, forcing 5 turnovers, 3 sacks, turning into 17 Vanderbilt points off the NC State turnovers.
Yeah. Pressure from the moment they got off the bus.
13 takeaways all year for the Vanderbilt defense. They get 5 in the bowl game. Second down, it's complete. Third down for NC State. Mobile devices you got for the holidays or Christmas. Touchdown NC State. So Glennon with his touchdown pass. It goes to Richard Smith. 19-yard touchdown, the first touchdown of the game for Mike Glennon to go along with those 3 picks. And at least the NC State offense and Mike Glennon ends on a good note.
Yeah, you know, there's no denying he can spin it. I mean, he throws a laser, and Smith catches it beautifully. His talent, that arm strength, undeniable.
Sadie coming with the PAT, and it is good for NC State. 38-24 now Vanderbilt on NC State. 2 touchdown edge for the Commodores. And Vanderbilt is closing in on a historic win. 9 wins for the first time since 1915. And Rod, the Vanderbilt Commodores extending the SEC's longest winning streak to 7 games heading into 2013.
Well, this is a good jumping off point for them. They'll head into recruiting. They're already doing well with that. Head into the spring. They'll be expected to perform well next season. It shouldn't be a surprise. They will not be underdogs in every game they play next year.
NC State goes onside kick. Vanderbilt recovers. 2:05 left. And the Commodores will have a chance to run the football, run the clock. We talked about the next step for James Franklin and Vanderbilt. They have reached back-to-back bowl games for the first time in program history. 9 wins for the first time since 1915. But now it's time to start knocking off those big top 10, top 15 SEC programs that line up the schedule.
Well, the expectations increase, but I think that's what they want, and they want to embrace that. And, you know, Franklin's done a great job of getting everyone in the community behind the program. I mean, going so far as to visiting the fraternities and say, hey, we need you. Come out, support our program. And with almost half of the student body belonging to frats and sororities, that was a pretty smart move.
Long tradition of waiting to halftime to come into the Vanderbilt football games. James Franklin wanted to make sure they were ready to go from the opening kickoff. It will be Vanderbilt who will be receiving the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl trophy. That ceremony live on ESPN3 after the game.
They lose Stacy after this season, and they will lose Rogers.
Jordan Rogers takes a knee, and Vanderbilt celebrates a bowl win and a 9th win on the season. For the first time since 1915, the Commodores win 9 games, and it's about to get chilly for James Franklin.
He knew it was coming. He was ready for it.
Fun moment for the Commodores. '12 was a happy year for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and a tough year for North Carolina State. Can't help but feel for that outgoing staff. Dana Bible, what a tremendous job he's done holding this squad together as they prepare for the transition to the Doran regime at NC State.
Jordan Rogers, Zach Stacy, and the rest of the Vanderbilt seniors go out winners. The 2012 Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl champions. Once again, here's Jamel Hill with James Franklin.
Coach, your program now has 9 wins for the first time since 1915. What is the significance of this victory?
Well, it's a win. We're 1-0 this week, which has kind of been our mantra. But I am very proud. When you get to the point you're winning 9 games, puts you in a different category. So I'm very proud of our guys.
Your defense had 13 turnovers all year. They got 5 today. How big was their performance?
I thought they moved the ball on us. I think he's a very, very good quarterback. So the turnovers were great erasers for us. And they came at timely times. So I'm very, very proud of our guys.
Your quarterback, Jordan Rogers, took quite a shot there. What was his performance? How would you evaluate his performance today?
I thought he played good enough for us to win. I thought he did some really good things with his feet. Obviously, the play at the end of the game was a big play for us. But most importantly, we found a way to get a win, a big win for our program, and a big win for these seniors.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
The Vanderbilt Commodores take their hometown bowl game, the 2012 Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl, a 9-win season. For Rod Gilmore, Jamel Hill, I'm Carter Blackburn. Happy New Year from all of us. Enjoy the bowl games, enjoy the celebration. The Commodores are here in Nashville. Now we send you back to the studio. John, Mark, and Luke.